I press D's whenever depressed. I go in, I speak direct. I keep a hood for my projects. I'm so under next.
Before Tierra Whack would become one of the most promising young artists in the game with creative flows, video concepts, and flawless execution of her vision. Before Tierra Whack would be named a part of the 2019 XXL Freshman Class. And with a pitch like that, how could you not put her on the list? I mean, she really didn't have to say anything because her bars speak for themselves. Before she would drop her self-directed 15-minute game-changing visual album Whack World and get a Grammy nomination for Best Music Video of the Year with her song Mumbo Jumbo.
It's crazy. It just doesn't feel real. Like, honestly, people have to remind me because I'm just like, just forget. Like, it's crazy, but I'm so grateful.
Before Tierra would get cosigns from some of the biggest names in music like Remy Ma, A$AP Rocky, and Solange.
Solange is like she's like right there for me every time. She makes herself so available to me. I'm like, yeah, little old me, but like she really, like she's so down to earth, she's so cool, she's so humble.
Yeah.
She's genuine, like she's the best.
And before she would have more than 382K followers on Instagram, close to 100K on Twitter, and 100K subscribers on YouTube at the time of this recording. But those numbers are going to skyrocket soon because this girl is a star in every sense of the word. From her creativity, to her bars, to her personality, everything about Tierra Whack is the opposite of her last name. And if you're unfamiliar, you better get on the bandwagon now before it's full and you have to run behind it. But before all of the fame, Tierra was a 15-year-old girl who was out rapping fully grown dudes on Philadelphia street corners. And the creative journey from that point until now is one that any artist out there watching needs to hear. This is the story of Tierra Whack. What's going on, good people in the comments section? My name is Jeremy Hecht. I hope you're having one heck of a day, and I'll be your host today as I take you through the life and career of my personal favorite artist right now, Tierra Whack. If you're new here, I'm the LA host for this channel, and I think I've actually covered every single XXL freshman on the list for this channel already, from Rico Nasty to DaBaby to Megan Thee Stallion. So if there's anyone you want to know more about, search their name in our channel and I guarantee you'll learn something new. Before we start though, I have a trivia question for you. Today's question is, what was Tierra Whack's childhood nickname? And not her first rap name, this is a different nickname, but you'll have to stick around until the end to find out the answer. All right, let's get into her story.
Before they're famous.
Before they were famous about.
That was a pretty good video.
I like this guy. Look, Freddie, you did a great job.
Michael is never wrong.
So damn, that was cool.
How did he know that? Whoa!
Tierra Helena Whack was born on August 11, 1995 in North Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and grew up in different neighborhoods within the city.
Killing every beat, like that's how I was able to prove myself and make a name for myself. Yeah. Philly, you know what I mean? It's Philly, born and raised.
She was raised by her mother and has a younger brother and younger sister, each 5 years apart, so I guess she wasn't an only child herself. Tierra was a prankster at heart and was the one who broke it to her younger siblings that Santa Claus wasn't real. Wait, what? Santa Claus isn't real?
No.
Yeah.
But the presents.
Your parents.
The mince pies.
Your parents.
The overwhelming feeling of joy that comes with sharing gifts with loved ones.
Commercialism.
Tierra's grandmother and great-grandmother both lived close by and would help babysit the children. Her father didn't play much of a part in her life, but like she told Fader, she has always been able to laugh at her pain, as you can tell with the reference to her dad on the song F Off. And for those of you still wondering, yes, Whack is her real last name.
It's just my name.
Are you for real?
Yeah, it's just my name.
You teased as a kid?
Yes, a lot.
Okay,
and that
but
was,
it's spelled with an H, so you know.
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to like change the whole meaning. Like when people hear Whack, they're like, oh, bad, but I'm like, no, Whack is
bad
good.
meaning.
Tierra's first dream was actually to become a dancer, but when she stepped into a church with her aunt, she heard the music and she was inspired. Early on, her mom got her all of the Dr. Seuss books, and during her elementary school poetry session, when it was time for Tierra to present her poem to her peers, the entire class and the teachers were blown away, and legend has it, she even out-rhymed her childhood idol Dr. Seuss on that day. She went home to tell her mom about how it went and asked for some composition notebooks. Within a month, all of those books were filled with poems. Next came the tape recorder so she could record her poetry, and she would do vocal exercises while in the shower, even writing songs on her way home from school. But the poetry fame at school was getting to her head because she became somewhat of a class clown. Her teachers began to wonder if she was ever even paying attention or if she was just writing rhymes, but luckily, Tierra was a great student and always got her homework done ahead of schedule. Tierra cites her mom as her biggest inspiration in life and her best friend. Her mom would play gangster rap around the house, but Tierra also had a lighter side, stating that she was a big fan of the show Dragon Tales, although it wasn't until a recent Genius interview that she realized they were dragons and not dinosaurs in the show. It's okay, I have those realization moments all the time. Like, I just realized a couple years ago that it was the last straw and not the last draw. Oh, you didn't know that either. I see you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you're welcome. Tierra also loved TV shows like In Living Color and Mad TV, which needs to make a real comeback, by the way. But it's also one of those things where I don't know if Mad TV was actually that funny or if I was just young.
My name Darrell. It's spelled like Daryl, but it's pronounced Darrell. Yeah, I just want to let you know, the back of your head is ridiculous.
No, it's still funny. Anyways, besides being inspired by Dr. Seuss, she was also inspired by Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, Khalees, and Missy Elliott, and those were some of her biggest inspirations as artists growing up.
It's like, you gotta think about it now, like, we have so many artists like out right now, and it's like, how the hell am I gonna stand out?
Tierra was always different. She was the only person who wanted Heelys out of all of her friends when they were picking out shoes. I still think Heelys are like the coolest invention ever. But for the most part, Tierra blended into the crowd and went with the fashion that everyone else was wearing. Until eventually, she became more comfortable with herself. She took a period of time to isolate herself and really look deep within to see who she was, who she wanted to be, and who she had been all along. Tierra attended the Arts Academy at Benjamin Rush for high school, where she was a vocal major and fine arts minor, and one of the few black students in her predominantly white graduating class. And while Tierra's interest in the arts only grew during this time period, she told Fader that her high school principal did make things difficult, saying, "You'd think an art school would be creative and free, but it wasn't. She was more like a football coach." In her junior year, Tierra and her friends wanted to sing a couple of songs from Sister Act 2 at their school talent show and had to beg just to perform the rap verse from one of the songs, but everything comes around full circle, and during a meal at the Center City Whole Foods recently, her principal saw her and congratulated Tierra on all of the success. It was in 9th grade when she was driving with her mom to her grandma's house and saw out of her window a group of dudes who were all rapping on a corner together in front of a Canon camera.
And then she was like, "You should get out and rap." I'm like, "What? I can't just do that. Like, what do you mean?" And she's like, "No, get out and rap."
So her mom circles the block while Tierra circled her mind for the right bars, and by the time they came back, Tierra hopped out of the car and said, "Can I rap for you?" At the time, she was going by the name T Dizzle or Dizzle Diz.
"Please approach me properly. Property used to be poverty. Now I'm taking all your money like robberies. You're damn wrong if you think you're hot as me. Some say it's hitting lottery, but honestly, it's honestly pottery. You need to stop slipping if you plan on stopping me."
And the guy who was running the cipher put his arm around her and said she was really good, and then she kept going.
Hold up, I'm rocking with it. Hold up. Yeah? I'm rocking with it.
He ran a blog called We Run the Streets that posted rappers like Meek Mill from Philly. He posted the video of Tierra and people loved it, gaining 6,000 views in a night and 12,000 views in a week. Meek Mill saw her rapping and tweeted at her, giving her a cosign, eventually hearing her spit live at a Philly radio station.
"Boy, the skills are born in Julio. Money in my skinny jeans by any means necessary. Call it hereditary, but I can show love like every day was the 14th of February."
Tierra started to rap over beats and started murdering instrumentals left and right. She got to meet some of her idols and got to freestyle at the local radio station. She even rapped for A$AP Rocky at some point, who seemed to be feeling it and is now a huge fan of her music. More full circle moments.
"I smell like old folks' wrinkles and rolls, so me I hold my nose. Dizzle and bold gold, a steezy mofo. My footwear is oh so dos plus ocho. Used to be no logo. You're the type to follow trends. Now you want a promo?"
But as a creative person, she kind of got bored of it pretty quickly and needed something new. At the same time, her mom was bored of being in Philly also and looking for new surroundings. So for her senior year, Tierra and her family moved to Georgia, where she attended Westlake High School. And people at her new high school even knew about her freestyle videos. She spat this freestyle for Say Cheese TV in Atlanta 5 years ago.
"Long nights keep me level-headed. Embedded my name, your name is bedded. We the illest, I can bet it. The man above me even said it. Lyrics are pregnant, instrumentals are shredded. I know you don't get it. Simple individual credit. We headed to heaven." During the next 2 to 3 years, Tierra deleted social media completely for clarity of self. And at the time, she was working at a car wash called Mr. Hotshot. And I was making so much money. So like tips were crazy. I didn't even care about my check. Like, just like my tips were so crazy and I was the only girl. She was saving up for a laptop and a mic, and once she bought those, she reached out to producers using the clout that she had from her freestyle videos, and she recorded a bunch of original music. But at the time, she kept it all to herself as she worked out her new image, new name, and the direction that she wanted to head in. She remembered an engineer named Kaneet Sims, who she had made some original music with in Philly, and contacted him through Instagram. So he hit me right back, and he's like, "Yo, where you been?" Like what everybody's been asking, "Where have you been? It's been 2 years since I put anything out. I was deleted on everything." He's like, "Where have you been? Yeah, come through, man. You know, we can work something out." So I'm like, "Yes." This is all I need. Like, as an artist, if you have an engineer in the studio, you can do anything.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Then she moved back to Philly to live with her grandma, and the first person she saw when she got back to Philly was Khalid himself. She showed him her music and he was impressed. And it was at the studio with him that Tierra learned how to record using Pro Tools and Logic so she could do her own vocals. One of the most important people to her is Khalid, who helps her now sort through all of her ideas and remember some of the ones that she might forget, and also produce half of the Whack World project, so shout out to him. She mastered her craft for years, and when she finally felt ready to return to the world, Tierra was using her real name and felt confident in her creative direction. At some point over the past few years, Tierra inked a deal with Interscope, who clearly saw the vision that she had been working on for so long. In 2017, she dropped a stunningly odd and unforgettable music video for Mumbo Jumbo, which pictures her in a dentist chair mumbling words that match the song's title. And whether or not it was a statement about mumble rap, the song caught some ears with its infectious melody and clear creativity. So much so that it was nominated for a Grammy this year for Best Music Video. When she finally felt ready to drop a project, she dropped it in such a unique format that the music industry had never seen before. She put out a 15-minute visual project with 15 original songs, each sitting at exactly a minute if you couldn't do the math yourself. Tierra didn't conform at all, and it paid off because the industry took notice. And most recently, she earned herself a slot on the 2019 XXL Freshman Class list. But she says that she plans on dropping a new song every week, and she says that all of them will be longer than 60 seconds. Thank you for that, because not that I felt any of them were too short, I just wanted more.
Man, we're gonna drop every week. We going every week, man.
So I hope this was a lesson to all of the artists out there struggling to conform to an industry that is often plastered with replicas of current trends. Sometimes you need to take your time, find yourself, create your own direction, and it'll pay off. And remember, there is no timeline when you're making timeless music. And with Tierra's childhood nickname, no wonder she just keeps dropping that timeless shit.
Just like my own I just really like looking at it. Like one time, well, it wasn't too long ago, I was drinking like this like blue Kool-Aid for like a month, and then like my shit was blue.
And there you have it. Her childhood nickname was actually Dookie, which she references in the freestyle that put her on at 15 years old. Once again, full circle. But as for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see, because this is before they were famous. I'm Jeremy Hecht. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and let me know who you want me to cover next in the comments down below. I'll try to respond to as many people as possible. Dream good, live better, and if no one has told you today yet, I love you. See you in the next video.